What do you do to keep the step corners of your vinyl liner into the corners of your concrete step? I'm adding concrete steps to my in-ground pool. I have heard that there's a liner bead for the corners in the steps. How should I prepare my concrete pour for that? Where can I buy the bead? How will I attach it to the concrete? And are there any other solutions I should be considering?
Okay, so oftentimes when a manufacturer makes a steel step that goes into a pool, they add a bead receiver along the edges. It's not going to be quite so easy for you when you're pouring a concrete step. Here's what I would do instead. Have the liner made with what's called a rod pocket. And at the bottom of each one of the steps, they'll create a little pocket behind the liner. And what you do then is you slide, as you're installing the liner, you slide, we just use a piece of rebar, but technically they make a steel bar that you could buy from them. We've always just used rebar. Slide it in there, and every 2 feet or thereabouts they leave a cutout where you can get to the steel bar. What I would do is and how I've always done it when I pour the concrete steps, is you have to start at the bottom step, line it up properly, and I've always just taken little clips that would have come from, of course this is more of the DIY style because that's what I've done. I've very rarely done anything that a manufacturer pre-made for me, but they make a little clip that holds like a 1/2 inch conduit to a wall or something like that, small clips. Use those and drill in and tap them into each of the steps and work your next step up, put the bar in, clip those in, drill in, screw them into the top step and work your way up, or at corners the same thing. That's certainly been the easiest solution for me, short of trying to figure out how to retrofit one of their bead kits into an existing set of steps, and that the rod pocket, well, the only downside to a rod pocket is then at the bottom of each of the steps or in the corner, there's the little lump of that you can feel the rod itself, you can feel the steel itself. If you use the bead receiver, you won't have that, but I don't know how you'd be able to put that bead receiver in as you're pouring the concrete, unless you want to pour the concrete and then figure out how to get a nice tight cut up against those corners, which I don't know what kind of saw you would use to do that either, to be able to then epoxy those in. My solution instead would be look up a rod pocket and see who the manufacturer of your liner is and see if they can do a rod pocket for you.